It all started with a photo. Meghan Markle, looking every bit the polished Duchess, was walking down the aisle of an American Airlines flight, handing out smiles like business cards. She even left a handwritten thank you note for the crew, something that would have made headlines on its own just a few years ago. But this wasn't just another viral Meghan moment, it was damage control, plain and simple. Because while that photo op soared through Instagram feeds, something much heavier was crashing down elsewhere. A member of a British Airways crew had just broken their silence, and what they said wasn't just gossip. It was a direct hit to the heart of the Sussex narrative. According to this former attendant, who spoke under anonymity but with documents to back up her claims, Meghan's connection with the baby during a royal tour flight was non-existent, cold, detached. The child, who the public believed was Archie, didn't respond to her at all. No eye contact, no warmth. It was the nanny who did everything, feeding, comforting, rocking him to sleep. Meghan, she was either in her seat, lost in her phone, or giving rehearsed smiles to onlookers. The crew thought it was odd, sure, but not enough to ring any major alarm bells. Until now. Because this isn't the first time something's felt off. For years, people have whispered about the inconsistencies around Meghan's pregnancies, the strange folding belly moment caught on video, the perfectly staged baby feet photo that many believe shows someone else's hands. Blurry images, no full-face newborn shots, awkward angles, it all looked too curated. Like someone was trying to keep something hidden. Then came DL. No last name, no fame-seeking energy, just a woman with a story and evidence. She claims she wasn't just a surrogate once. She says Meghan hired her twice, once for Archie, once for Lilibet. And what she describes doesn't sound like a traditional surrogacy with contracts and lawyers and clear agreements. It sounds like a covert operation. According to DL, she was flown to a secluded facility with no access to the outside world. No phones, no internet, just her, the medical team, and strict instructions to disappear after the delivery. Her reward? Silence. Not just from the Sussexes, but from the law. No paperwork, no protection, just a vanishing act. She went along with it at first, but after the second child, things shifted. She says Meghan cut contact entirely. No acknowledgement, no gratitude, no recognition. DL kept quiet until now. Because this time she's done being erased, and she's not just talking, she's showing. She's got hospital records, ultrasound scans, time-stamped footage of her swollen belly, videos where she's whispering the date and location while lying on a medical bed. In one, she's crying while cradling a newborn with a nurse gently patting her shoulder. And then there's the kicker. DL says she's ready to take a DNA test, publicly, supervised. She's even dared the Sussexes to match her proof. Test me, test them, she reportedly said. Let's see who's lying. When that quote hit the internet, everything exploded. Reddit threads lit up. TikToks compared DL's pregnancy clips with Meghan's public appearances. People noticed eerie similarities, body shape, timing, even clothing. Some users even claimed DL's hospital background matched the one Meghan allegedly used for post-birth photos. Suddenly, the royal fairy tale didn't seem so magical anymore. And as the smoke from this bombshell thickened, Meghan's PR team kicked into overdrive. They started flooding social media with heartwarming family content. Laughing kids, garden moments, sunlit selfies. But instead of silencing the rumors, it only made things worse. One comment summed it up perfectly. If this is real, why try so hard to prove it? DL wasn't just making noise. She was shaking the foundation of an entire royal narrative. And behind palace walls, that wasn't going unnoticed. According to a former royal aide, there had always been quiet concerns. Not official ones, of course. Nothing in writing, nothing traceable. But there were hushed meetings, hallway whispers, off-the-record chats about how strange it all felt. The lack of medical documentation, the absence of traditional announcements, even the hospital photos had raised eyebrows internally. At the time, it was easier to chalk it up to privacy, but now it's starting to feel like the cover-up may have run deeper than anyone imagined. Meanwhile, DL's story was only gaining momentum. More insiders, former staff, distant relatives, even anonymous nurses began dropping hints online. They didn't directly confirm DL's DL's claims, but their details lined up. One nurse recalled a woman matching DL's description arriving at a private facility under a fake name, escorted by security that didn't feel like normal celebrity protection. Another mentioned a high-security birthing room booked under an LLC that traced back to a Sussex-affiliated shell company. None of this was definitive on its own, but together it was painting a chilling picture. And then came the footage. DL released clips that no one was ready for. In one, she sat propped up on a hospital bed, IV still in her arm, reading a date and location from a dry erase board behind her. Another video showed her gently holding a baby, whispering lullabies while tears rolled down her cheeks. The lighting, the room decor, the staff uniforms, they all matched a maternity clinic just outside of Toronto. Royal watchers froze the frames, checked metadata, analyzed wall tiles. Nothing looked fake. What made it even harder to dismiss was the eerie similarity between DL's footage and the official Sussex baby photos. A small throw blanket, a striped newborn cap, a particular type of cradle. Side-by-side comparisons began popping up everywhere, and the overlaps were impossible to ignore. People started asking why Meghan and Harry, who had always been fiercely protective of their privacy, suddenly leaned into a highly staged media strategy around the kids, but only when rumors spiked. And still, no word from Harry. While Meghan's team scrambled, Harry went radio silent. Friends say he's holed up in Montecito, avoiding calls and pushing away old confidants. One source claims he's been battling panic attacks, unsure how to confront what's unraveling. Another suggests he always knew parts of DL's story were true, but had convinced himself it would never come out. The guilt, the pressure, the global scrutiny, it's all catching up now. Inside Buckingham Palace, things are no calmer. Senior advisors are reportedly urging King Charles to act publicly, decisively, before the chaos tarnishes the entire monarchy. The concern isn't just personal, it's constitutional. If Archie and Lilibet weren't legally born of Meghan, and there's no formal surrogacy documentation, their royal titles might be invalid. That throws the line of succession into a gray zone no one wants to touch. One advisor allegedly warned, "If we don't get ahead of this, we risk looking like we knowingly allowed fraud inside the line." Meghan, meanwhile, has gone from poised to panicked. Staffers describe her as erratic, scheduling last-minute press meetings, obsessing over Reddit threads, lashing out at aides over minor mistakes. One assistant reportedly quit after being blamed for a viral TikTok that used DL's footage in a side-by-side comparison. The breaking point? A moment during a team call where Meghan allegedly burst into tears, screaming, "Why is everyone trying to erase me?" But the truth is, no one's erasing her. People are just starting to question which version of her they've really been watching. Legal teams are circling. Meghan's lawyers have already reached out to multiple DNA labs, not to disprove DL's claims, but to delay any public test. According to insiders, they're trying to stall, buy time, maybe even quietly negotiate a private resolution. But DL isn't budging. She's not taking money. She's not chasing interviews. The only thing she wants is a single third-party supervised test. No lights, no cameras, just hard proof. She's reportedly already chosen a lab, hired her own lawyer, and is prepared to go public if necessary. Her reasoning? The kids deserve to know who brought them into the world. That's the part hitting hardest. Because this isn't just about gossip anymore. If DL's claims are true, the entire foundation of Meghan's motherhood image, the speeches, the interviews, the teary podcast moments, crumbles. And for the royal institution, it's far more than a PR mess. It's a legal crisis. Titles, inheritance rights, succession lines, none of it stands if the births weren't legitimate or documented properly. Royal scholars are already digging into protocols, searching for historical precedent, but there isn't any. No rule book covers this kind of deception. Brands have noticed too. A luxury baby brand that had announced a collaboration with Meghan has now scrubbed her name from its website. A high-profile publishing deal tied to her journey as a mother is quietly on hold, according to someone close to the negotiations. Even a fashion brand that had signed on for a capsule collection celebrating modern motherhood has reportedly pulled out, citing public instability. No one wants to be caught on the wrong side of a story this explosive. Behind palace doors, the tension is razor sharp. Some insiders believe Meghan orchestrated everything from the beginning, while others think she might have started with good intentions and spiraled into cover-up when things got complicated. But the question now isn't about intent, it's about consequences. And those are stacking up fast. Archie and Lilibet's positions in the royal family are under review. Lawyers are reviewing birth registration documents. A formal inquiry may be on the table. One source close to the palace said it bluntly, "This isn't a tabloid story anymore. It's a constitutional liability." Harry's silence, once seen as noble, is now drawing criticism. People want to know if he was in on it or if he's just as blindsided. Those closest to him say he's unraveling. Haunted, withdrawn, and drowning in what-ifs, he's reportedly been visiting a private therapist daily, avoiding all press and refusing to speak on the record. A former friend said he's stuck in a nightmare. If DL proves she's telling the truth, Harry loses more than his image. He loses everything. DL, for her part, remains steady. She's turned down publishers, she's refused to sell footage, she's even declined a lucrative interview offer from a global network. Her lawyer says she's only interested in one thing: clarity. For herself, for the children, and for anyone who still believes in truth over power. "I never wanted to be known," she reportedly told her attorney, "but I refuse to be erased. The public isn't just watching anymore, they're participating. Forums are flooded with speculation, investigative threads are analyzing timelines, clothing, even shadows in photos." A viral video breaks down frame by frame the moment Meghan's belly appeared to collapse on live television. People are demanding transparency not as haters, but as citizens watching a modern monarchy stumble in the digital age. This story isn't closing, it's just beginning, and if DL steps into that lab,